welcome back everyone, and in this one we're going to be talking about Spider-Man PS4 and if a sequel was going to happen. So as you may know, it is developed by Insomniac Games and it is a PS4 exclusive. So it has players swinging around New York as they battle all kinds of famous Marvel villains like the Kingpin to Doc Ock, Tombstone and the Taskmaster, who is set to actually feature in the upcoming Black Widow movie due to release early next year. Spider-Man on PS4 also had a great story, as Spider-Man had to balance keeping his superhero activities on the down low, all while he was interacting with his friends MJ and Aunt May. So story spoilers to follow if you haven't completed the game. So the ending of Spider-Man on PS4 did leave a lot of room for a sequel. That Harry Osborn was apparently not on holiday in Europe, as Peter was told by his father Norman, but instead being kept barely alive in a secret Oscorp lab somewhere in New York City. Then there's Miles Morales, after being introduced gradually throughout the story of Spider-Man before eventually gaining his own spider powers, though not before Mary Jane is teased having powers of her own. We see Peter Parker acting as some sort of mentor to the young Miles Morales, basically teaching him the best ways to use his newfound powers, all while he's still trying to keep a watchful eye on the neighborhood at large. So given that Marvel's Spider-Man is the best selling PS4 exclusive ever, it's pretty much a look at the point that Insomniac Games are working on the Spider-Man sequel release. So let's take a look at what a sequel could include. So let's start off with the story. So Miles Morales becoming a Spider-Man of his own, at the looming shadow of Harry Osborn, the Green Goblin in the background, would expect a second Spider-Man PS4 game to allow players to switch between two Spider-Men, with each having different objectives and narratives that frequently intersect throughout the game. Heroes. So in addition to the likes of Peter Parker and Miles Morales, we'd expect other Marvel heroes to appear in the sequel too. In fact, Gwen Stacy, and by proxy Spider-Gwen, could very well make an appearance, in addition to sometimes friends, foes, Silver Sable and Black Cat, both of whom appeared extensively. Insomniac will have no shortages of bad dudes to draw on. From the likes of Mysterio, who we see in Marvel's Spider-Man Far From Home, to the likes of Venom, Carnage and most obviously the Green Goblin. The next Spider-Man game from Insomniac will certainly have an ample choice of bad guys for Spidey and Miles to tangle with. So Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. So we know Sony will be silly to ignore the 100 million and growing PS4 user base. It's pretty obvious that any new Spider-Man sequel will not arrive before Sony's next generation PlayStation, the PS5, hit store shelves, effectively making a Spider-Man PS4 sequel a PS5 exclusive as a result. We already know that Insomniac is looking for the future with the Spider-Man IP too, as the current Spider-Man game was recently used to illustrate the lightning quick access speed of the PS5's solid state drive. That said, we wouldn't expect Spider-Man 2 on PS4 to arrive until the first wave of PS5 titles, including games such as Death Stranding, Cyberpunk, and The Last of Us Part 2 have released on the console. So, comment down below, would you love a Spider-Man sequel? I would, because Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4 has been doing great in the sales, and it's just an awesome story. So a sequel would be amazing, and I can see it happening because I don't think they'll just ignore the fact that it's been doing so well in sales. But anyway, hit the like button, comment down below what you think of a sequel, and I'll see you in the next one.